The most intriguing and long-lasting philosophical ideas in human history. Philosophy has produced some of the most fascinating and long-lasting ideas in human history. Philosophers have explored a wide range of ideas that continue to shape our understanding of the world and our place in it, from ancient Greek philosophers such as Socrates and Plato to contemporary thinkers such as Noam Chomsky and Susan Sontag. In this essay, I will look at some of history's most intriguing philosophical ideas and provide evidence and examples to help explain and understand them. The nature of reality is one of philosophy's most persistent and interesting topics. Philosophers have debated this idea for centuries, with many different perspectives on what reality is. For example, the Greek philosopher Parmenides contended that reality is a single unchanging entity, whereas Heraclitus contended that reality is constantly changing. Similarly, René Descartes, a 17th century philosopher, famously claimed that our perceptions of reality may be untrustworthy and that the only thing we can be certain of is our own existence. Another intriguing concept in philosophy is free will. For ages, philosophers have debated whether humans have free will or if our choices are governed by factors beyond our control. On the one hand, some thinkers, like the 18th century German philosopher Immanuel Kant, have maintained that humans have free will and that our acts are not influenced by other factors. Other thinkers, however, like as the 18th century French philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau, have maintained that our behaviors are influenced by circumstances such as our environment and upbringing. The link between the mind and the body is a third intriguing issue in philosophy. Many philosophers have considered this topic, notably the 17th century philosopher René Descartes, who famously claimed that the mind and body are different things and that the mind is non-physical. Other philosophers, such as the 18th century philosopher David Hume, have maintained that the mind and body are inextricably linked rather than independent entities. Furthermore, current philosophers and scientists are researching this problem through cognitive science, neuroscience, and philosophy of mind. The following is a description of an interesting idea. For ages, philosophers have argued over what is ethically right and evil, with diverse opinions on what defines morality. Aristotle, for example, thought that morality is based on what is best for the individual and society, but Immanuel Kant, an 18th century philosopher, argued that morality is founded on universal principles such as the categorical imperative. This discussion is still going on today, with philosophers like Peter Singer and Derek Parfit delving into the nature of moral thinking and decision-making. Finally, another important philosophical concept is the purpose of life. For ages, philosophers have debated what gives life purpose, with diverse opinions on what gives life meaning. For example, Epicurus, an ancient Greek philosopher, claimed that the purpose of life is to attain pleasure and avoid sorrow, but Friedrich Nietzsche, a 19th century philosopher, contended that the goal of life is to develop oneself to become who one actually is. Similarly, Viktor Frankl, a 20th century philosopher, claimed that the goal of life is to discover meaning in the midst of pain. Finally, philosophy has given birth to some of the most intriguing and long-lasting concepts in human history. These concepts continue to impact our view of the world and our role in it, from the nature of reality to free will, the link between the mind and body, morality, and the purpose of life. Philosophers have addressed these concepts from many perspectives and evidence-based arguments throughout history. Philosophy is a discipline that promotes critical thinking, logic, and evidence.